So, good evening, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. So, as I've said countless times, and I'm not sure why I'm going to even say it again tonight. Um, I feel like I've been betrayed by my mother, stepfather, father. I feel like they pharmacologically abused me, and I want them to take accountability. I mean, like, was the HIV accident in January 2020 premeditated? They say it was not. I guess believe it. But I mean, believe that they're being honest and transparent with me. There was no premeditated intent to get me to take HIV PrEP. So I'm going to go over some artwork that I think that I created tonight. So I asked Dr. Natural, were my cousins, aunts, uncles, and step family associating with wealthy people for 25 years? If they were excluding me while everyone was enjoying their lives, I'll be angry at my parents for not communicating. And Dr. Natural says, all has been communicated to you many times. Please listen. Your family and stepfamily are nobodies. The kernel of truth is you've had no relationship with your family for the past 25 years. The next one. Dr. Natural asks me, when your father said birthdays are overrated, was he being sarcastic? Was he secretly upset? Maybe he was disappointed you didn't get him a gift, but he didn't know how to properly communicate. And I say, I feel like my father was making a lack of love joke. If you miss important days like birthdays, graduations, and so on, it becomes a big deal. I also think overrated comes from the song Heaven Beside You. I suspect it's an Alice in Chains joke. And lastly, this is the Broadway Mall, which is going to get destroyed by demolition men and wrecking balls. So the demolition man who's paid to destroy is taking his wrecking ball to the Broadway Mall. And I say, bring on your wrecking ball. Destroy my childhood in the name of progress. And TB says, rest in peace to the Broadway Mall. Rest in peace to the Broadway Mall. That's for sure. Whew. So, like, really, at the end of the day, I'm just looking for honesty and transparency. I'm looking for somebody I can trust. Uh, I think the thing that upsets me the most is I just don't believe anybody's being honest and transparent with me. I don't know who to believe. I don't know who's telling me the truth. That's what's got me upset. I don't believe my mother. I don't believe my stepfather. I don't believe my father. Somebody says, what would it take for you to believe them? I don't know. It's like they say, liars, when they speak the truth, are not believed. They have a proven track record of lies and deception, and I've caught them in lies. I've caught them in a million lies, and they won't take accountability for the lies. They won't communicate about the lies, and it leads me to believe the secrets are even worse. So, it's kind of like. So I think the one lie I'm certain they've told is, about my step family and family for the past 25 years have been excluding me and villainized me behind my back, and that was like the one major lie I caught them in. That kind of planted seeds of doubt when it comes to everything, basically. I mean, when it comes to my father, I mean, I've caught him red-handed stealing things and then seeing it at like girlfriends' homes, and then he denied it and he wouldn't take accountability for it. So I mean, that was during a divorce, but I know he steals and lies, and he's a liar. TB asks, what did your family exclude you from? I suspect vacations. I suspect they did a switch. They gave the money that was meant for me to my stepsister, and they all went to college in England and were partying at Abbey Road and associating with rich, famous, and interesting people. They say this is not true. I don't know. I mean, nobody has confirmed or corroborated this. This is just what I'm imagining to be true. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody asks, "What's the best thing in your life? What makes you happiest?" Right now, I'm very unhappy, and I feel like I've been unhappy for the past 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. And I've just been dead inside. I've been like the Walking Dead. Basically, I mean, I do like my art class friends, and I do like socializing with them. And people notice when I'm socializing with them, I seem happy. But frankly, I've just been fucking dead inside for the past like 5 years. You know, I mean, some people said, obviously, 2019 Andrew wasn't exactly healthy either, but I don't know. I wasn't this messed up. I really think. TB says, I think some people say you could benefit from a mood stabilizer. My father certainly is pushing for that, and I guess my mother definitely is too. She wants me on more medication too, but I want to be medication free. I don't want to take any medication. La, 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 la. Yeah, my father wants me on more medication. Somebody says sometimes medication helps. Somebody says, when did you first think about becoming medication free? I guess November 2022 is when I came off medication entirely. Um, yeah, I think November 2022 is when I came off my meds. Somebody says, did that end in a hospitalization? Well, my parents put me in the hospital in January 2023 because I wasn't taking my meds. That was the reason. And again in March of 2023. So, I mean, you might say it's, you know, a lack of med issue that caused the hospitalization. But I think the reason they put me in the hospital was because I wasn't taking my meds, and they wanted me to take it. So I don't know. So do you really think this is all psychosis? Do you really think this is all delusions, and I'm just nobody has betrayed me? My parents love me. Everybody's honest and transparent with me. Do you really think that that's the situation here? If you had to guess. Just be. Oh, Tiger's back. Hey, Tiger. How you doing? Good to see you, my buddy. He said, "Yeah, dude, it's all in your fucking head. Holy shit! First time I pop back up, and you're asking the same shit. Welcome back, Tiger. I know some people said you were dead, but I'm glad to see you're alive. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? Big dog back in the house. Good to see you, Tiger. Big Tiger. He is risen. He is risen. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see you, man. I'm excited. what have you been up to? What have you been up to? And now he's gone for months. So he says Tiger has a hectic schedule. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, man. I think ultimately, though, at the end of the day, everybody just wants to be loved. Everybody just wants hugs and affection and cuddles and warmth and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Somebody asks, Andrew, do you remember the tallest man you ever saw? Uh, I think so. Maybe it's not the tallest man I ever saw, but I was working at Wallbaum circa 2005, 2006. And I was working as a cashier. And this man, who might have been a basketball player, because I think he was thin too, if I remember correctly. But you got to remember, uh, this guy was probably like 7 foot, and maybe I don't know. And he came on my line, and he bought whatever he bought. And I remember one of the cashiers says, "Wow, that guy was tall." Yeah, so I mean, this guy was a giant, whoever he was, and he wasn't just like 6'6" tall. This guy was like 7 foot tall. So yeah, that's probably the tallest person. I don't know why he was coming into Wallbounds, but I guess tall people go shop at Wallbounds too. Maybe he was a basketball player. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he was doing, but he was buying stuff at Wallbounds, which was a supermarket. I don't know. So this is maybe he was part of Lady Gaga's entourage. Don't indulge the delusion, TB. But yeah, I mean that was 2005, 2006. To my knowledge, I was an unknown back then. He wasn't. He was a white. He was a white guy, the tall person. Tiger says, "I just assume all African American people play basketball or rap, or sometimes simultaneously." I think there's some, obviously intellectuals. I mean, that was kind of racist, Tiger, but I think there's people that go to college, and I mean, Barack Obama became the president of the United States of America, didn't he? I mean, he didn't play basketball or rap. In fact, he's quite nerdy, I would say. So, I mean, some a lot of people. I mean, they don't stereotype. Tiger says it's okay. My nieces are African American. I have lived experience. All right, fair enough, Tiger. Fair enough. But yeah, I think ultimately, yeah. I mean, don't stereotype, and don't say. I mean, some people get into politics and become president. Well, I mean, actually, only one, Barack Obama, but some, I don't know, play basketball, some rap, some become doctors. You know, and this goes for any race. This goes for Caucasians, Latinos, Asians, and so on. Tiger says Obama famously built a basketball court in the White House, though. And Piss says some commit crimes. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a poverty issue. You know, I know, I know somebody, and I'm not going to name names, but this person referred to breeds of dogs. He says pit bulls are more aggressive than little Yorkies. But if you said that about races, people would accuse you of being racist. I'm like, hey, ooh, I mean, human beings have intelligence, free will. I wouldn't say, because obviously, some people say pit bulls are more prone to attack. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, this wasn't my quote, by the way. I don't want people to think of me as a racist. In fact, I'm not a racist. I like every race equally. If you're kind to me, I'm kind to you. So he says, if Dr. Garrett heard you talking like this, he'd put you on 40 milligrams of Abilify stat. Yeah. So, yeah, all races. I mean, basically, honestly, do you ever project your fears? Like for example, when you're around an African American person or an Asian person, do you ever get like afraid they're looking at you like you're a racist, and you start to get anxious, and you don't want them to look at you critically for those thoughts? I mean, it's kind of like projection, imagining what's in their minds, and being scared of what they're thinking you're thinking. And I think ultimately, try to tell myself maybe they're looking at me and they're saying, "Oh, look at this honky." I mean, I'm just saying honky about myself. I'm white. I try to say maybe they're looking at me critically. Don't be so insecure. Don't think people can read my mind. Don't think people, are doing thought broadcasting. So try not to be so self conscious. Just say, all right, if somebody's nice to me, I'll be nice to them, and it doesn't matter the race or gender or anything like that. So and when I get scared, they're looking at me like I'm a racist. Say to myself, they're obviously probably looking at me like, oh, look at this white guy. Say they're probably thinking racist things about me too. I mean, I'm not that I'm thinking racist things. I'm not, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's kind of like an intrusive thought. It's kind of like when I see an attractive man and I'm like, is he looking at me like I'm gay? Or it's kind of like another example. Like you'll see like a murder on TV, like a white woman who gets brutally murdered, and by a criminal, and you'll say, oh, and you see it on TV, and you look around and you'll think, oh my God, is everybody looking at me like I want to do that? No, I'm in the suburbs. Nobody's looking at me like I'm this crazy deranged murderer who's attacking people. And the same is true for, you know, I mean, frankly, children. Sometimes I'll be around children in the supermarket, and I get the same thoughts. I don't want the parents or anybody to look at me like I'm a pedophile. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not into children, obviously, but I'm into women in their 20s and 30s. But I imagine people are looking at me critically, like just basically just don't worry. I mean, if you were a racist, it's not good to be a racist, but try not to worry so much about it. Try to just relax about it. I'm imagining what people. It's important as long as people are alive, of age, consenting, and so on. I'm more afraid of what people are reading my mind and what I'm thinking. I'm just more afraid of people judging me. So yeah, yeah. If you're a racist, just relax. It's no big deal. It's nothing to worry about. Just be a racist. Don't. I'm more afraid. I'm more worried about it. I'm more. Like who cares? I mean, it's not good to be a racist. I mean, if somebody's kind to you, be kind back, and don't think you're superior to other races or genders. But I mean, don't be so worried, about it either. That you shut down and you put on a blank expression and you think they're looking at you critically. Just try not to worry so much. Yeah, TB says, true that, true that. So he says, what worries you the most? That people are looking at me critically. Um, I don't know. I guess it's thought broadcasting because I don't know. I mean, like I'll give you an example. Today I was around an Asian woman, and I feel like people could read my mind, and I completely shut down. I completely put on a blank expression. I got so uncomfortable. I didn't want people reading my mind. I didn't want people reading my thoughts, and I just basically had a major panic attack. And it was kind of like, just just look at her. Just yeah. I don't even know what the hell this is. Uh, I think it would be. I'm imagining people are reading my mind, and I'm projecting my fears of what I think they're thinking into their minds. So that's what's happening here. Somebody says Asians are among the best at reading minds. Well, nobody can really mentalize what's in your mind 100% of the time. But yeah, I do think some people obviously have good mentalizing and intuition abilities, and I think a lot of people can communicate almost telepathically sometimes. But they might say that's thought broadcasting too. Somebody says Asian women learn telepathy. Well, I think obviously, if there's a language barrier and you have to learn English as a second language, you got to really pick up on nonverbal cues to communicate before you learn English, and you become in tune with people's body language, their gestures, because that's how you communicate. So I don't think they're actually telepathic. Nobody can read your mind 100% of the time accurately. But I think sometimes, yeah, I don't know. Somebody says people can read based on your expressions and heart rate. Yeah. Somebody says, but what if they can read? Well, and try not to, like when it comes to African American men or women or Asian men or women, like what am I thinking that's really all that bad? Nothing. All right, and we made like inappropriate jokes. Oh, you like to play basketball or rap, but there's really nothing I'm thinking. I don't think I'm superior to any race or any gender or anything like that. In fact, I like diversity, and I would like friends of different races and genders. I think it would be cool, to associate with different races and genders, and I think it would be cool to be in interracial relationships, and uh, I think that would be a cool thing. Yeah, I mean, so somebody says you like traveling around the world, sampling different foods. I want to try the women that are Latina. I want to try Asian women. I want to try African American women, and so on. Indian women. Somebody says go around the world sampling all the different women. Isn't that what that's probably what the rock musicians did. That if you want to end racism, just go around the world. Like being with all the women of all the races, and you'll start to love every race. I'm just joking. This is just a joke. So he says, you better go Asian, Latina, then black. Work your way up. Work your way up. So he says maybe a nice African American woman would be very very good for me. I don't know why I assume that, but maybe she would. Maybe she would. TB says I agree. Andrew's not ready for a sister yet. Erie says, "Would you be uncomfortable if an African American man showed up at your apartment?" No, I would like a friend who's an African American friend, but honestly, I want to. I don't want like straight out of the hood. crackhead, like a college educated person, like somebody who, you know, wouldn't, shoot me, and that goes for like people that are Hispanic. That goes for, you know, people that are Caucasian too. I know some white trash that out of the hood that would shoot you. I'm not saying, but yeah. Yeah, no, but hey, Gecko Cujo. Horn dog, yeah, people are really getting me to put my foot in my mouth in this live stream. Maybe I should delete it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a racist though. I like every race. In fact, uh, so he says, "Would you be okay with having a Haitian roommate in the group home?" Oh, sure. Yes, I wouldn't. I wouldn't care about that. That'd be fine. Yeah. TB says, "I think you're just being open and transparent." Yeah, I don't care. Tiger says, "Everybody knows you're not a racist." Yeah, true racists. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a racist, man. I'm not a racist. There's Kylie, go potty. Oh, Horn Dog says, "What's your favorite race?" I don't know. I look at every race equally, but I definitely like sexy women of every race. Basically, yeah. I appreciate women of all colors. Yeah, going around the world sampling the women of the world of all colors and races. Yeah, that'd be nice. You know, somebody says, "When was the last time you had a romantic partner?" I think it was. I think it was probably about November 2021. It's been a long time. It's almost 5 years. Maybe it'll end soon. Maybe it'll end soon. Somebody says, "What about large women?" No, I don't really like women that are overweight. I mostly like petite women. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get going to bed. I think it's well past my bedtime. It's 8:12 p.m. It's 12 minutes past my bedtime. I think I need my handsome sleep or my beauty sleep. Somebody says, "You have the bedtime of a 9-year-old elementary school student." I guess so, or like an elderly person, but hey, what are you going to do? Adios, my amigos and amigas. Peace out. Somebody says 6 years is a long time with no physical touch. Maybe it'll end soon. And maybe I'll get romantic soon. So I hope that ends soon. Adios, my amigos and amigas. Peace out.